Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Pooborama, and in today's video, I'll be going over the fastest way to sourcing special cargo in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's get straight into it. Special cargo is not the best business in the game. In fact, it's one of the worst businesses when it comes to making money, unless you optimize it correctly. And this is where making money with special cargo can actually become pretty good. In the latest, or not the latest update, but the previous couple updates, Rockstar added the ability to now have associates sourcing special cargo for you. And while they're sourcing it, you can also be sourcing crates yourself. That increases a lot of money you can make with special cargo. But not only that, the best part about special cargo is about every month or so, Rockstar has a 50% or even double money on your sale mission. A lot of times what I will do, and a lot of people will do, is they'll fill their special cargo up and then wait until there's a double money sale mission, and then once that week comes out, boom, I sell all of my special cargo. And sometimes what I'll even do is, even after I sell that special cargo, I'll then fill it up once again during that week, grinding as hard as I can, and then sell it again. It is always massively beneficial to take advantage of sale missions, especially when it comes to special cargo, because that 50% bonus is massive when you're selling for millions upon millions of dollars. So in today's video, hopefully I'm going to be helping you source your special cargo much faster than you might be normally used to. We're going to start off by doing a simple crate sale mission, or not a sale mission, but a supply mission. So we're going to pay $18,000 to collect the medical supplies. Now, the first part about your supply is what vehicle you're going to use. You have a couple options. If you're a newer player, you might want to use a Pegasus Concierge vehicle. You can use the vehicle like a Frogger, which is absolutely free to get your hands on if you're part of the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. You can be like me, like the Buzzard Attack Chopper, and that's usually what I end up doing. There's a lot of other vehicles you can use as well, like the Insurgent Pickup, the Technical, but usually the best vehicle in my eyes is the Buzzard Attack Helicopter. Now, I do have my jetpack spawned outside of the building. You can see it right there. And the jetpack is not a bad vehicle, but honestly, a lot of people always like to use the Oppressor Mark II or other vehicles when it comes to doing special cargo. Personally, I don't really see the reason. If you have a vehicle like a Buzzard Purchase, not only can you call this in whenever you want, part of your CEO for free, but as well, you can spawn it right out of the top of your office building, saving you time getting over to your vehicle or whatever, because you instantly spawn out. Plus, if you're using a helicopter, you can land it on your office building as well. It's just really, really easy. So as we can see, a third party got the pickup before us and seized the shipment. They're mobile. Okay, well, this is pretty easy. All we got to do is land our helicopter right over here, because they're going to be rolling around this corner, and we got to kill the person. So let's land our helicopter. Let's pull out a decent weapon for killing. Let's just do this. Oh, that's not what I want. This should do the trick. And bonk, bonk, bonk. And he's dead. We got slightly ran over. Oh, that there. Oh my. We got more than slightly ran over. We got completely decimated. Well, that absolutely sucked. The good news is that we have the special cargo. Alright, well, that was fairly simple. This was one of the easier missions to grab our special cargo with. Now all we're going to do is we're going to go bring this over to our warehouse. Now, the first thing I should say is I own 5 large special warehouses. And large warehouses are important for a couple reasons. First of all, the larger the warehouse you have means the more money that you can make. Because the larger the warehouse, the more of an increase you get per crate. Every crate you add into your warehouse gives you a slight increase in money. It's kind of like investing. The more money you invest, the more money you make out. So that's kind of how special cargo works. The larger the warehouse you have, the more money you make out on a sale mission. That is why it is absolutely mandatory, at least in my opinion, if you're planning on doing special cargo sale missions, to just invest in very, very big warehouses. Buy the largest ones possible that store up to 111 crates. The best warehouses to purchase are usually the ones in the strip. It might be more expensive, but you'll notice the 5 special warehouses I own. The first one starts here, and it makes its way down to this one, and then this one, then this one, and then we finish off with the only one a little bit further away being off near the docks. Overall, I purchased these large warehouses specifically because of the locations they have, and I'm going to showcase that right now. As you'll notice, I specifically sourced this warehouse to start off with, and the reason because of that is right here, I have an associate. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pay this person $7,500 to go source my crate. Then I'm going to leave my building. Oh, got a call from English Dave, but I'm going to leave my building really quickly, and I'm going to go to vehicles and request my jetpack. Now, it doesn't really matter what vehicle you use for this. It's pretty simple. This takes a solid maybe minute, 2 minutes of your time. Now, to be fair, you don't need to buy the warehouses in the locations I showcase, but the reason I have these warehouses specifically is because it is a lot simpler when you're doing your sourcings. So you're going to notice all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jetpack and fly on over to the next warehouse, and I'm going to source once again, paying the associate to go get crates for me. So I'm going to go do this really quickly. All right, well, that was fairly simple. It took me about 3 minutes in total to start off where we were here and make my way all the way down to all the warehouses, finally paying this last assistant to go source me crates. That's going to take them 48 minutes to get me the crates. On average, they usually get about 2, and then once again, I'll pay them once they come back. It's a very simple way to make a bunch of money. Now, I might be asking, what is the actual benefit of owning the warehouses in this strip? How much time do I actually save? Well, let's say you buy the cheapest large warehouses possible, and they're scattered all around the map, like the one down here. The only problem with that is, let's say you lose about a minute of time on your sources. Yeah, that's only a minute of time, right? Doesn't sound like that much you've lost. Well, if you end up doing that source, I do it about 15 times a day, maybe 10 times a day when I'm doing a grind session. If I do that 10 to 15 times a day, that means in total, I'm very quickly going to lose 15 minutes of my life just going across the map to pay my associates. And the more you do this, the longer it's going to eat into your time. So let's say in total you do 100 sources throughout, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks of playing GTA. That means you've lost an hour of your life, almost an hour and a half of your life, just sourcing crates when it would have been a lot faster if you just own them in a specific strip. You don't need to, but I do it just because it's a lot faster on sourcing and it's a lot easier on the sale missions. Now, this is the part that a lot of YouTubers don't talk about, and that is going to save you an absolutely monstrous amount of time. As you can see, I have my spawn location set to Maze Bank West. The only way to set your spawn location to Maze Bank West is by owning the sleeping accommodation inside the Maze Bank Tower. So, I would suggest to buy that. The main reason why is instead of flying all the way back to the Maze Bank Tower, all I do is I go to Find New Session, Invite Only Session, and boom. We're going to count this amount about, what, 5 seconds, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm there. So in about 10 seconds, you're loaded into a new session. This is incredibly fast and easy to do. This saves you a massive amount of time when you finish your sourcing mission. Because, for example, now that I'm waiting 48 minutes for my associates to go get those crates, what's going to happen is I'm going to go do another quick source mission. Oh boy, I just got a call from Lupe. And what Lupe said is you got to go head over to Hookies. Now, even though that name sounds very funny, what is not funny is the source mission I'm about to do. Going over to Hookies is by far the worst source mission in Grand Theft Auto Online, period. What you have to do is you have to make your way all the way over to the edge of Paleto, essentially. You need to go steal some detonation devices out of the back of an Emperor, and then after you've done that, you need to go swim into the ocean with people trying to kill you, blow up crates while under the water, and then steal the special cargo. This mission sucks. Now, I've heard advice from some people just to load into a new session because it's not worth the time. However, I personally believe it's worth the time. Even though this mission takes maybe 3 or 4 minutes longer than the normal one, you are paying $18,000 for the source, and it's not worth it just to throw away the crates. So I still like to showcase this mission and how to do it, so I'm actually very happy that I caught a call from Lupe, because this is by far the biggest time eater when it comes to missions. There's a lot of these, by the way. It's not only this location. I think there's like 2 or 3 locations you can get in total that will have you open the trunk of the Emperor and go into the ocean. So hopefully I'm going to be able to help you out on how to complete this a lot faster. I have a very simple way of doing it, but it's actually quite smart on how it saves you time. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is get the detonation devices out of the back of the Emperor. And now we got to make our way over to Paleto Bay. Now, this is the part that becomes a bit annoying. You want to use a vehicle or helicopter like the Buzzer that has homing missiles to clear out the area you're about to go to, because if you don't clear out the area, it's going to be an absolute pain. So let's make our way all the way over to Paleto Bay. Arriving at our destination. Let's hopefully not crash into a tree. There's a lot of trees, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to just spam a bunch of missiles at these guys. It's pretty easy to do this. It takes a little bit of time, but once they're all dead, it's a lot easier. So I would just suggest to do it like this. Stay at a fair bit of distance away and just clear the guards everywhere. So let's get these guys. Nah. God, these missiles suck. I gotta be honest. These missiles are missing everything. But there you go. That guy's dead. And that looks to be just about everybody dead. Okay, make sure when you get here that you take the rebreathers. You're gonna see them. You need the rebreathers. By far, this is one of the biggest mistakes I've made in the past, is forgetting to grab these rebreathers. If you do, what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna need them later and you're not gonna have any oxygen. Now comes the most important part. You need a Deluxo. If you don't own a Deluxo, you can use a vehicle like the Sea Sparrow. If you don't own a Sea Sparrow, I guess you can use a Trador, but you're going to be out of luck. What you do is you call the mechanic, and you're going to get out your Deluxo. The reason you want to get out your Deluxo is specifically because this vehicle hovers over the water. And it's weird, because if you get out of the Deluxo while it's just flat hovering, it's going to instantly go in the water and be destroyed. However, if you do this correctly, it's going to work perfectly. So you're going to watch what we do. Now, I actually think that is, yes. I forgot there's more things we have to kill. Good thing we're in the Deluxo. So let's just blow up this stuff really quick. There you go. Goodbye. 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 Okay, that's all destroyed. So what you want to do, you can see we got all the containers floating here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my Deluxo is moving, and I'm going to jump out of it very quickly. You'll notice when I jump out of my Deluxo, it continues hovering. So all I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to complete all of these, and then once we're done with this, I'll show you why having your Deluxo hovering over the water is absolutely genius. Alright, well, as you can see, I've collected all the valuables. Well, not yet. Okay, well, I guess I have not collected all the valuables, because swimming in and getting them is a bit more challenging than one would think. Come on, oh my god! I hate the swimming physics in GTA. Alright, we can do this. We can do this. I believe. There you go. And yes, okay. Now we have collected the valuables. As you can see, there are two, I think, buzzards on my character who are going to try and kill me. So I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to go to inventory, I'm going to go to body armor, I'm going to equip some heavy armor. This is very important. You got to make sure you have armor for this. What's going to happen is you can see my Deluxo hovering in the water. Now, because the Deluxo is supposed to be sank, all you do is you swim to your Deluxo, you press the enter car vehicle, the button. If you're on Xbox remote, it's Y, and look at that. It teleports you right into the Deluxo, and off you go. This is an absolutely genius way to defeat the AI that will murder you over and over and over when trying to get back to base. It also saves you a massive amount of time rather than going all the way back. So this is how I have solved the problem. It's pretty simple, honestly, but it definitely gets the job done. Now, you do have a 4-mile trip back all the way, but still, at least it works. As you can see, I have delivered the cargo, and this is where, once again, you apply that method I showcased earlier, which saves you time. You go to online, find a new session. My spawn location is already set to Maze Bank West, so all the game's gonna do is it's gonna load me into a new Grand Theft Auto Online session. This literally takes, as I said, about 20-30 seconds, and now I'm in a new lobby, and it's going to load me right back into my office building, and all I need to do is start up the next sail mission. You can see how effective and efficient this is at saving time when sourcing for special cargo. Hopefully, today's video helped you out, not only on the worst sail mission possible, but as well on how to save an absolute boatload amount of time when doing special cargo sourcing. Hopefully, you enjoyed this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.